Hello and welcome to Channel 2S. I'm your host, Second Soundwave. Gunpla EXPO Winter 2016 is ongoing, but before I jump back to the news, I want to take a moment to thank every single one of you that subscribed for helping me reach 2,000 subscribers. That is an awesome, big number, pretty damn big for a small channel like this, and it really makes me happy that I was able to reach that goal with 5 days to spare, too. And not only have we hit 2,000, we've actually reached, as of the time I'm recording this, 2,038. That's almost 45 new subscribers just from today. That is insane, guys. That is so cool. Thank you so much. That said, let's get into the news and cover some things that I kind of either skipped over earlier or just plain hadn't been mentioned or announced or revealed yet. So, jumping right in with some updated information on some kits that I talked about before. The Master Grade Gundam The Origin version color variant that I showed off earlier. Now, the V-fin is, of course, yellow, as I pointed out before. What I didn't notice until just now is that it also has gray joints, which, from what I understand, generally indicate that this has the magnetic coating version, which isn't actually magnetic on the model. It's just a thing from the show where about halfway through the original Gundam series, the Gundam got upgraded with some new joints that allowed it to move faster and keep up with Amuro's new type reflexes. From what I can tell, that seems to be the point of this kit, although I'm not exactly sure why these parts weren't just included with the normal Origin version, so you could swap them out as you like, kind of like they did with the chest vents on the Master Grade Victory. But, oh well. Then the real grade gold frame. It's actually going to have gloss injection armor, kind of like the Sinanju, and I wasn't expecting that. I didn't really notice that. I noticed it had kind of a shiny sheen to it, but I thought that was just the kind of hand-painted prototype look. But actually, no, this is going to have gloss-injected armor, which is pretty cool. And this is the part I'm really excited about. Those bonus weapons with like the effect parts and stuff that they showed on that little acrylic stand, we're actually getting those with the stock kit from what I can tell, which is super awesome, and I'm really happy to see that. And then we have some release information for some of these. So the Master Grade Providence, we have a release month for it. It is coming out in March, so it looks like they're skipping February for the Master Grades, but that's not bad. And it's going to be 5,400 yen, so pretty expensive. That's actually more than the Infinite Justice. I think that might be more than the Strike Freedom. It's actually pretty high for a seed kit, so that's certainly something to consider. And then that new IBO Gundam that I mentioned that didn't have a name, it did have a name on the name tag, and we finally got it translated. It is Gundam Baal, or Ball. Both are different spellings of the name of the same demon, although Baal, or B-A-E-L, seems to be the spelling that they're going with officially. It's going to be coming out also in March for 1,500 yen, which is actually on the high end of the IBO releases. Like, I think we've only gotten a couple other high grades that have been at that price range, not counting massive things like the mobile armor. And then the Crossbone X3 is in fact going to be premium Bandai. It's going to be coming out in January, 2,000 yen, so obviously it's going to be more than that if you get it outside of Japan, but 2,000 yen is the sort of official stated price that it's going to be on their website. And then there's McGillis's Gray's Ritter and Iyoku's Region Lays. Now, we've seen pictures of these at several conventions before. This isn't really news, but we do finally have release information for them. They're probably going to be coming out in January, although it didn't necessarily seem to be a solid release date. Might not necessarily be January, but right now it looks like it's going to be January. And 1,600 yen a piece, but again, premium Bandai, so it's going to cost you quite a bit more than that if you try to get these if you're not living in Japan. Then the Amazing Strike Freedom Gundam. We do have clearer images of it now, and it kind of looks pretty bad, honestly. It just looks like a big ol' mess of Strike Freedom parts. Really not that great, but if you want one, it's coming out in March again, and it's going to be 2,400 yen, so pretty expensive for a high grade. And then some extra kind of accessory information for Char Zaku 1 from Gundam The Origin. It looks like it's going to include parts to make the more traditional Zaku 1 shoulders, so the smooth squared off shoulder on the left, and then the right hand shoulder pad that doesn't have the spikes on it, which is pretty nice, because with the standard shoulders, it kind of just looks like a Zaku 2 with a Zaku 1 head. So I'm glad they made that little tweak to the accessories. And it looks like it's going to have the same shield as the Gun Cannon First Type. So that's a nice little extra addition to the accessories. And I have to say, the more I see the little add-ons to it like this, the more I'm actually considering getting one of these, even though I already have the Zaku 2, just to, you know, try out some more of the Origin kit, since I have been meaning to kind of spread out from the Zaku and try out some more versions of that mold. Then we have color images, finally, of the 100 Gundam Vidar. This is looking pretty awesome. Obviously, it's the same colors as the high grade, being the same mobile suit, but it does look like it has a little better color separation than the high grade. Of course, it does have some molding improvements, less hollow parts, sharper edges, and for a design like the Vidar, those things really come into play, and it looks actually really cool. And then there's one thing I do find weird is that while there was a Gundam Fluoros at the convention, we still don't have color images of it. And it's like the only December kit that we don't have color pictures of. We have color pictures and colored prototypes of kits we're getting in freaking March, but we still can't get a colored prototype of the Fluoros, and I still find that just kind of funny. On to the new stuff. This is the completely new reveals that have been either revealed since I did the video, or a couple that I just missed because nobody had taken photos of them yet. So, first one, this is a premium Bandai Master Grade, the Goof prototype. Now, it's basically just the Goof in brown with some new weapons. Has a very retro sort of MSV look to it, and I guess it's okay. I've never really been a big fan of the classic Goof designs, so I'm obviously going to be passing on it, and I imagine most of the people watching this will probably also pass on, since I've never really seen a lot of interest or excitement for the p-bandai Zakus and Goofs. Then we have another new premium Bandai release. This is the Bugu in its standard colors, which is basically just orange. The one we got at retail, or rather the one we're getting at retail, is going to be Rambo Ral's custom unit, which is blue. This is the standard orange. We're getting this premium Bandai. I honestly prefer the blue, so I'm not really bothered by this being p-bandai, but if you want to go the completionist route, I guess you're going to want to pick one up anyway. Then we have another new mold kit from Gundam Thunderbolt. This is another suit that's going to be appearing in Season 2 of the OVA. This is the Gundam Ground Type Thunderbolt version. As you can see, it is pretty far removed from the traditional Ground Gundam. It's just a straight gray prototype right now. Nothing really interesting to see here. Although if you do want to see the colors, I'm going to throw up a line art of it right about now. So if you want to see that, there you go. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. So pretty cool. Then this is something we just have like a little placard for. But apparently we're getting a new Super Fumina, or at least some kind of variant of it. It has what looks like either a giant heart strapped to its back or angel wings. I can't really tell from this silhouette, but I'm sure it'll be rather cringeworthy no matter what happens. And remember how last time I said I was kind of glad there weren't any bear guys at the convention this time? I spoke too soon, because we now have a Papa Bear Guy with his classy mustache, hat, and cane, and he actually almost looks kind of cool. I still can't believe I just said that about a bear guy. I feel ashamed of myself now. Also, we have a couple new petite guys, Soda Pop Blue and Bittersweet Brown. And the Soda Pop Blue one comes with well, I guess they call them like ice candies in Japan, but they're what we call popsicles here in America. And then Bittersweet Brown comes with a chocolate bar. So, I don't know, I kind of like the fact that they're including accessories for some of these later petite guys. They almost kind of feel to me at this point kind of like the little blind bag Lego minifigures, where they'll just be like weird little fun things. And I actually think that would be really cool if they did like blind bag petite guys. Hey Bandai, there's an idea. Make it happen. So anyway, one last thing. This is an SD Gundam. The Musha Gundam, right now it looks like it's Mokage, although that could change. I'm not exactly sure how the kanji for it are supposed to be translated. And I'm really happy to see this just because I kind of like the SD Musha Gundam line. And I'm glad to see that they're kind of continuing onwards. I know they've been focusing a lot on X Standard lately and a little bit on IBO and Build Fighters. I'm glad to see they're going back to their roots and doing some of these old sort of samurai-ized Gundam designs. I think that's pretty cool. And actually, speaking of X Standard, from what I can tell, there was no new X Standard stuff shown at this convention, which honestly kind of makes me happy since I have no problem with that line dying in a fire. So that's all the Gunpla news for tonight. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and if you're new here, click on the subscribe icon that's popping up on the screen right about now. If you want to watch some of my other content I've made, there are links to my other videos on the left and right of the icon. Feel free to click around on those, check out some of my other stuff. And I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and I'll see you next time.